Hello, Coach Chris here from the Recovery Journey. Happy to be here with you today. Today I want to talk about a tool that you can use. And the tools that you're going to always hear me talking about are tools to attain and maintain or sustain sobriety from mood altering substances. Um, the whole mission of the recovery journey is to um, help people, guide people, assist people in arriving at a place in their lives where alcohol and drugs have no place, a place where there's no need and no desire and no craving for using alcohol and drugs anymore. That's the purpose, that's the mission. So today I wanted to briefly talk to you a little bit about a tool that you can use. And many clients, maybe every client, nearly every client that I've had over the years that make the commitment and say, alcohol and drugs or whatever the substance is that they have struggled with, uh, the alcohol and drugs have caused them so much damage and so much unhappiness. As I've said before, I refer back to myself. In my case, quite often, that's the way that I'm able to really connect with my coaching clients is because I have lived the life of addiction and did so for 18 years. So I'm going to base this talk today on a combination of my experience as a practicing alcoholic and addict and what I did, one of the things that I did that became a tool that I could use to help me maintain my sobriety. But a lot of clients will say, man, I just don't know what I'm going to do. How am I going to live life without drinking when every place I go, people are drinking? Drinking is common. People are having a beer at the bar. They're having a cookout at the house, and people are drinking beer. Or they go to a wedding and there's champagne. Go to a party and they're drinking wine. People are very concerned and they have a fear of how in the world am I going to maintain my sobriety in the real world. Well, here's a couple of things I have to say about that before I give you this tool. The first thing is that no one is ever going to hold you down and make you take a drink. And maybe even the thing that precedes that thought is that in reality, there's nothing wrong or bad about alcohol. Okay? The fact of the matter is that me and maybe you, we are people who can't drink like normal people. Okay? We have to accept that. That's the very first step in getting to the recovery that we're looking for, is we have to admit that we, for whatever reason, we talk about things in the recovery journey course about the science of addiction. We talk about the reasons that some people can drink and some can't, and what's going on in the brain of a person who has a substance use disorder. The bottom line is that I just can't drink like a normal person. If I have one, chances are very high that I'm going to have or want 8 more. Okay? So there's nothing wrong with alcohol because there's millions of people who can drink responsibly. Okay, and if you were one of those people that could drink responsibly, or smoke a little weed once in a while, or whatever the recreational substance is that some people are using, but they don't seem to have a problem with it. If we were able to use like normal people, then you wouldn't be here watching this video. You wouldn't be taking the Recovery Journey course if that's what you're doing. We wouldn't be having this conversation. You'd not even know who I am. But the fact is that if you're like me, you can't drink just one. You can't smoke just a few puffs. You can't do whatever with any moderation. So there's nothing wrong with alcohol. The problem lies within me. Okay, I am I have the twist that keeps me from being able to drink like a normal person. So once I have made it through my initial withdrawal from alcohol, let's say that I'm a normal person, and I usually I drink every day, and I think that I'm a normal person, and all of a sudden I decide that the madness in my life has to stop, and I make the decision to stop drinking, and I may go through some time, a few days of withdrawal, of feeling bad, kind of feels like a hangover. For me, it was kind of rough. I felt rough for a few days, maybe 4 days or so. And during those 4 days, I really wanted to take a drink. And honestly, I knew that if I took a drink, it would help my physiology would gladly accept that dose of alcohol, and I would feel better. And it wasn't really better, it was just that I would feel normal. Okay, I would feel my nerves would calm down, the little shaking in my hand would stop. I had gotten to that place in my alcoholism where I had trembles, better known as DTs or delirium tremens. So once I get through that, then I do want to live a regular life. I want to be part of the world community. I want to be, I have to be part of the community of man, right? This is a world of restaurants and bars and cookouts and weddings and all the things that people do. And just because I can't drink alcohol like a normal person, I can't stop when it's time to stop, doesn't mean that I can't be a part of life and the community and the things that are going on with people that I care about. And it doesn't mean that I have to stop those things, but I have to put some measures in place. The Recovery Journey course has an entire module that is dedicated to coping skills and learning things that I can do to be able to operate in this world, in this environment, without drinking and using drugs. But the tool that I want to give you today is one that was given to me a long time ago, and it's by far, the one that I've used the most often out there in the real world. Out in the real world. So let me set the stage for you. Pick in your mind a restaurant that you enjoy going to with your family and friends. And most probably it's one that, like maybe one of the chain restaurants, and in the middle of the building it has a bar and maybe a couple of flat screen TVs with some sports channels playing on them, Um, People are having drinks and drinking beer and laughing and having a good time or whatever they're doing. And there's usually one person that's leaned over his drink and looking down, and he's inebriated, drunk, and he's gonna chance driving home tonight under the influence of alcohol. There's usually at least one person at the bar that's that way. They're a person that hopefully one day will end up watching a video like this one and being part of a recovery program. But anyway, back to the tool. So choose the place. I've got it in my head now. I'm thinking about a particular chain restaurant, and I go in and sit down with my friends or my family, and within a couple of minutes, the normal process is that a server comes to the table and brings a stack of napkins and starts doling out some napkins around the table, and maybe some silverware and some menus, and introduces themselves and says, "Hi, my name's Chris, and I'm going to be taking care of you tonight. Here are your menus. What can I get you from the bar?" That's a very normal question that we hear when we go into the bar or go into the restaurant that serves alcohol. Is the server says, "What can I get you from the bar?" Here's the tool. I've used it, I'm going to say 1,000 times. Okay, that's a round number, but I'm going to say I've used this tool 1,000 times. My response when the server gets to me going around the table asking what someone wants from the bar, my response is, "No thanks, I've had enough." Now, what do you think about that? "No thanks, I've had enough." So, two things are going on when I give that response. Number one is, I am telling the absolute truth, right? I'm telling the truth. I've had enough alcohol. But I'm not getting into details with this person. This is a server. I'm just giving her a reply. "No thanks, I've had enough." The second thing that happens is, in most cases, that server will not ask me again during this particular visit to that establishment. Okay? Now, I can only guess and imagine what might be going through that server's mind when I answer that way. "No thanks, I've had enough." Who cares? But it's kind of fun to think about sometimes. When I say it, I'll watch the person, and maybe I get a little bit of a strange look from them. But I'm thinking, okay, she's trying to figure out, or he's trying to figure out if what I just said means that I drank all afternoon before I got here, or I drank in the car before I came in. That server might be wondering what I meant by that, under the answer, what the background of that answer was. But the bottom line that I'm telling you, this tool that I'm giving you, is this absolute response that answers the question. It protects me from being asked again. I can't think of a time when I was asked a second time, "Can I get you something from the bar?" Because I've already said, "No thanks, I've had enough." Okay? So, here's the tool. The tool, every time I use this tool, it builds into my repertoire. Okay? I use it the next time a little easier than I did the first time. And as life has gone on for me for 26 years now in sobriety, I have used that tool so many times that it is an automatic response. Boom, just like that. It's an automatic response. Now, not only do I use it in that setting at the restaurant, I also use it at the cookout or the wedding or whatever the occasion might be. When someone comes by with a bottle of wine and a glass on a tray and they say, "Wine, sir?" I say, "No thanks, I've had enough." It becomes an automatic response, and it's a great coping skill. And I'd like you to consider, it may seem silly to you, but I am sitting here sober tonight telling you that in life we're going to be presented with opportunities to drink. And the sooner we establish our standard default answers where we can, the sooner that we establish those, the smoother everyday life will become. So there's a tool you can use. I hope that you will share it with your family members and have a laugh about it. Tell them, say, "Hey, I watched this video today, and this guy, Coach Chris, gave me this tool to use to help me when we go out." Okay? You've already made the decision that you don't want to drink anymore. Okay? The fear that we have about peer pressure is simply an internal fear. No one is going to make us drink. And staying cooped up and isolated is not living a life of recovery. That is not recovery. Recovery is participating in life, having a good time, and doing things that I want to do with my family and loved ones. So I hope that the tool that I just gave you will be helpful, and I hope that you'll come back for the next video where I will give you something else you can use. My name's Coach Chris. My program is called The Recovery Journey, and you can see more of my videos online. You can visit my website. It's www.addictionfreedomcoach.com. And if you need some help with your recovery, if you need more than just this single tool that I just gave, go to the website, click on the Start Here button. There's some free information there for you. I invite you to participate in your own recovery, and I hope that you can maintain your sobriety and have the great life that you so deserve and that your family deserves. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye-bye.